Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to a new episode of Games and Names. Our sport for this episode is the Indonesian-based indigenous martial arts sport of Silat, and our star guest is a member of Egypt's female team, the national women's team for Silat, and she is Folly Abdullah. So let's get to know more about the sport of Silat and about Folly in the upcoming minutes of Games and Names. Silat is the collective term for a class of indigenous martial arts from Nusantara and surrounding geocultural areas of Southeast Asia. It is traditionally practiced in Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, southern Thailand, southern Philippines, and southern Vietnam. There are hundreds of different styles and schools which tend to focus either on strikes, joint manipulation, weaponry, or some combination thereof. The word Silat is used by Malay-speaker countries throughout Southeast Asia, but in further extent, the Silat martial art is officially called as Pencak Silat in Indonesia. The term Silat has been adopted globally in reference to professional competitive Silat for sport, similar to Chinese word Wushu. Regional dialect names including Pencha in Sudanese, Silak in Neganga Bao, Main Po or Main Po in the lower speech of Sudanese, Gayong or Gayung in parts of Sumatra, Indonesia, and Malaysia, and Dika or Parik in parts of Thailand. Pencak Silat is one of the sports included in the Southeast Asian Games, the SEA Games, and another region-wide competitions. Pencak Silat first made its debut in 1987 in the Southeast Asian Games and in the 2018 Asian Games, both of which were held in Indonesia, the home of the sport. Training halls are overseen by separate national organizations in each of the main countries the art is practiced. These organizations are the Pencak Silat Association of Indonesia and also the Persekutuan Silat Kebanggasan Malaysia and the Silat Brunei Darussalam in Brunei and Persekutuan Silat Singapura in Singapore. Practitioners are called Pesilat. Silat Malayo is one of the Silat styles. The term Silat Malayo was originally and still is used in reference to the Silat systems in Riau Archipelago and neighboring regions. Silat Malayo is often associated with fixed hand positions, low stances, and slow dance-like movements. While these generalizations do not necessarily reflect the reality of Silat techniques, it has a notable influence on the stereotypical way the art is portrayed in Brunei, Malaysia, Singapore, and of course in Indonesia, again, the base of the sport. Both Pencak Silat and Silat Malayo were recognized as a piece of intangible cultural heritage by UNESCO, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, in December of 2019.
My name is Folly Abdullah. I'm 27 years old, graduated from Faculty of Arts English Department. I work in a multinational company for telecommunications. I joined the Silat back in 2019, beginning of 2019. I started from the scratch and I heard about the game from one of my friends at work. I didn't know much about Silat. I didn't know that there is like an Indonesian martial art and for like martial arts for the Silat. So she told me about the game and she told me that I need to try it. I wasn't really sure because I just hear about karate, judo, and the normal MMAs and normal martial arts. So I said that this is not really a good game, but she insisted. Then I tried I took like an introduction session for the Silat in the school. Um, Still also back in 2019, they introduced the game and I saw a short video about the game as well. I found it's way better than the other martial arts just by seeing the video, but I said still I want to try it. So I went and I joined with my sister and my nephews and cousins. Then we started like a month later. It was like about fitness at the beginning and like discipline and being there on time. And I had so many challenges at the beginning because, as I mentioned, I still work. So I had to schedule it and put it as a priority for me. So I was taking like some leaves from work and I just wanted to try to see how I'm going to reach this point like I saw the video in the first time. Then I started training. The most difficult thing at the beginning was the fitness training. It was very difficult about like being like you have to be very patient and you have to adapt and you have to do like very difficult moves, just not like the normal fitness for other martial arts, because I used to play something like karate before, but just for a couple of months. So I've never seen something like this before, especially in the fitness. Then I passed the fitness test and everything went fine. After, the biggest challenge for me was just the fitness. Then they started to introduce us to the moves, and it was also challenging for me to know the names in Indonesian. It's very difficult to learn a brand new language. It's just like you barely speak Arabic and English, and so it's still challenging if you're learning a brand new language with the moves. So we started like gradually, and it was very nice at the beginning, learning numbers and just the name of the moves and very small and little things. Then by time when you practice a lot more, you find yourself getting used to it. So it was very nice to learn a brand new language. Not like fluently, you're not speaking fluently in the language, but you still know some names and some moves and some really good food as well. So it was really nice at the beginning to learn such a game and to find that it's the best among all the other martial arts, because one of my friends, they are playing MMAs and kickboxing as well, but still I haven't seen something like the Silat before, because it teaches you patience and control, and like it's very simple, and still you can still kick someone just with one move. So it was very nice to know such a game. I learned really a lot from my coaches, especially from Guru Absal Abdurrahman. He's one of the best people I've ever dealt with. I learned from him so many things, like patience, because I really don't have any. I also learned discipline, and you have to respect your coaches, even if like you're late for 1 or 2 minutes, you can just go for push-ups for like 20 or 30 push-up just for being late for 1 minute. So it was very difficult for me because I had just to run from work and to come there, and it's just I'm late not because of like it's not in my hand. It's just because of work. And but they understood that after a while, because they saw that I'm really keen and passionate about the game, and I really want to continue with them. So it was very nice to know such people and to learn a lot of things from them, especially in their culture. They teach you to be very disciplined and to show respect to all other people, not just your coaches and other people like in the street. You can help anyone. If someone came to yourself, like you're just walking on the street and someone is trying to bother you or to mock you or to do anything, you just don't go and hit them. You just defend yourself first. And you don't need to defend yourself by moves and things unless they start something. So other games, you can go and kick someone's, like you can kick anyone easily and you can break them. But with Silat, it's completely different. It's about the mindset and the patience. So I didn't have patience before, but now I really hope so. disciplined. If you're disciplined with the game, because you face so many challenges, mainly time and training and fitness, because as I mentioned before, fitness is the most difficult thing you can face with any of the martial arts you can hear about. They like you cannot move after the training for the fitness. You cannot even learn the new moves because of you are so tired and sick because of the moves. But you get used to it by training, and it becomes like a habit. The most important thing about it is just to keep training every day. If you miss like a day or two, you can just train for 4 days or 3 days, but not less than this, because you will find some difficulties in moving, in your breath, and how to move and how to take your breath, because you'll find it very, very difficult here if you just miss a day or two. Not just about moves and like not about moves. Still, also you get so many things like spirit. You get to know something like their culture. Also, you get introduced to their food, which is very, very tasty, by the way. The difference between the two, I don't see that there is a difference, because there is no difference between the guys and girls in learning this game or being introduced to such a game, because they don't like differentiate between us. For a girl, you can do like 50 push-ups, and the guy still can do the same. They are just thoughtful when it comes to if there's someone sick or someone on a leave or someone they're having their exams. They are very, very thoughtful when it comes to this, and they give you all the trust. Once you have their trust, you won't lose anything, because the most important thing about our game, it's just not anything, it's mainly trust. When it comes to as I mentioned, fitness, there is no difference in moving or fitness between guys and girls. I think that's pretty much it, especially like in moves. We learn the same things. They don't differentiate between us. They give us all our rights, because I think they see girls, I think, sometimes more important than guys. So they give us all the attention, so which is very, very nice for me, especially when it comes to my challenges, because I work like for 17 hours or 16 hours a day, and they still understand everything. So I'm very happy with this, because they are very understanding. That's it. of the game, they are very easy, by the way. They are just very organized. We start, as I previously mentioned, with the fitness for an hour, 45 minutes, sometimes more. It depends on the coach. Then we perform some moves. There is some moves for the first belt, which is the white one. Then you go to the yellow one. There's other moves as well. It's actually with the same techniques. We still use the same first technique that we learned in the first place from our coaches, but with some very tiny changes. But we still use the same technique. The difference between, like, for instance, the first build, which is the white one, and the yellow, then the red, and the ones after that, it's the first one is you get all the knowledge from the moves, and anyway you get all the fitness and all the builds, so it doesn't really matter. But first of all, the main important and the most important one is the first one, which is the white one. You get all the knowledge, all the techniques, how you perform them, and you perform them with some techniques, and then they focus more on how you perform the first moves. Then they focus the second step, they focus about the techniques itself. Then the third one, they focus about the technique and the move, and for instance the name of the move. They make sure that you memorize all the names, like, especially as I mentioned, it's in Indonesian, so you have to pronounce it even correctly, not with not our Egyptian accent. They pretty much focus about a lot of things, and mainly gradually in order to make sure that they provide or to train or to introduce to the other martial arts in Egypt. Here they focus about the three things that I mentioned. So by the end, when you reach, for instance, the red belt, you find yourself, you know exactly how to pronounce the name of the moves in Indonesian. So other people, like other Indonesian people, they might think that you are Indonesian, however you're Egyptian, which is very nice. The second thing, as I mentioned, it's you focus about the moves, it gets better by training, and it gets better by getting more builds. So by the end, for instance, you can be as an assistant for a coach, starting from the red belt, for instance. So you can train someone, you can take a place and go train other people. You can be responsible for any other newcomers in our school. So because they trust you, in the way you'll present the school, they trust you in the way you will speak about us, they trust you in your manners, and they have faith in you because they taught you everything they know about Silat, which is very nice. So you become like a guru, which is a coach in Indonesian. So they trust you with the other new people because it's very, very important for them not to let anyone just to be responsible for any brand new people in our school. They don't trust, it's very difficult for them to trust someone like this unless you show them all the dedication, the passion, the discipline, and mainly not just patience. You show them your real manners, and you really care about our school, and I think that's everything. So you cannot really graduate from the red belt unless you are 105% qualified to be as an assistant or even a coach in the future. So I think that's pretty much it.